Have you ever felt like you've been lied to? Well, you have. I'm going to tell you the top 3 lies that physicians have been told. Borrow as much as you need. You're going to get a great high-paying job and you'll be able to pay that off in no time. This is a common misconception among students and parents, and maybe the general public at large, that you can borrow as much as you need for your education. You shouldn't worry because you're going to get a high-paying job and you're going to pay off that debt in no time. Well, this is a dangerous way of thinking. Physicians graduating today have an average of $200,000 of debt. That is a lot of debt to be graduating with, just as you're starting your career and you're starting your life. First of all, when you are graduating from residency, you're probably around 30. If you've done fellowship or anything more, you're in your early 30s. You've already missed a decade of compounding growth in the stock market. So you're already behind your peers. And then think about what's happening when we're turning 30 in a lot of people's lives. And as you're exiting residency, what is going on? A lot of people are getting married or having children. You're likely moving to where your job is, so that's going to cost money to move, and then you're going to have to find a place to live. You may have a lot of other things that are coming due around that age, so it's very easy to get behind. And I think that even if you're very aggressive paying off that student loan, that money could have been used for other things in your life. So, you're not only paying interest, you're also missing out on those other opportunities that could have been availed with that same money. So, and the reason I'm saying this is because I've talked to some people who are looking for medical schools. They're very concerned about the rank and prestige of the school. I said, listen, it really doesn't matter. It's an accredited school in the United States. You're going to be fine. Go where you get in. And go to the cheapest option, because really going out of state to some school is really not necessarily going to benefit you in the long run. I know that education has intrinsic value, but we do have to also, look at the big picture and not overspend, not overborrow. Now, the second big lie you've been told is that you can spend and that you need to live like a doctor. And I don't know if this happens with everyone, but I do think there's a lot of pressure on physicians to live the life of a physician. That means have a nice car, have a nice house, and send your kids to private schools. And I think for the most part, physicians I know are trying to be reasonable. They're not flamboyant, but they do have a nice lifestyle, which is great. We should enjoy what we're creating. And, we've waited a long time to get out there and enjoy life and build a family and do all those things. But I think we need to get away from that mindset where we need to have all these things to feel like we have arrived and that we need to reward ourselves. I want to change the perception of doctors and money, because I think the world at large thinks that physicians are somehow really bad at managing their money. They're bad at investing. They're bad at managing their business. And I think it's just because we haven't really taken the time to learn, and we don't get good resources on these topics. And we try to go to advisors or financial planners, and I don't think have our best interest at heart. I think even if they are fiduciary, they have a business model, and their business model is to earn 1% to 2% from all their clients, and that's how they're building their business. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just we should understand that. And if we want to get good advice, we need to first of all get educated, and then we can reach out to people in the financial industry. We'll know what questions to ask. We'll know how to use their services. I think right now, a lot of times we just think they're the expert and we just hand it over to them. And I know I did, because I hated all this stuff and I did not want to manage it for myself. I was very happy to let someone else do it. But we can't do that anymore, okay? We cannot just hand it off to someone. We've got to be an informed, engaged participant in our own financial journey. To me, all of this is just like how we manage our health and how we expect our patients to manage their health. We need their buy-in, we need their cooperation and their engagement, because you and I can't do anything with the patient if they're not going to follow the treatment plan, if they're not going to take their medications, and if they're not educated about their disease process, their illness. They're not going to be that engaged, and they're not going to understand why it's important. And it's the same thing with finances. If we don't understand the mechanics of the financial world and how these things work, then we're not going to use them correctly, and we're not going to benefit from them. Because there is a benefit to all of these things out there, whether it's financial planners, whether it's different kinds of investments. There's definitely a benefit to all of them. But if we don't know what the benefit is and how to utilize them, we're not going to receive that benefit. So it's about getting smart. And I want to encourage physicians to not think like, how can I become a rich doctor, but how can I become a smart doctor? And the third big lie you've been told is that you can just save for retirement. Put all your money in tax-deferred 401k accounts and index funds and you'll be fine. And I think this is also a big misconception. I mean, look at your 401k if you haven't. What is the compounding rate? It is pretty sad on mine. I think the average in the last 5 years was maybe 5%. That is obviously very slow growth, and especially if we're planning to retire in our 60s, we could have a very long life ahead of us. So it's generally not going to be adequate. Then you've got to account for inflation, increasing cost of living, and taxes. When you withdraw the money from your 401k or retirement accounts, you're going to pay taxes on that. And there's no reason to assume that your taxes are going to be lower. Generally, taxes are increasing, not decreasing. So even if we've been told that you're going to be in a lower tax bracket, the tax brackets may change, and you may be taxed at a higher rate than you expect to be. And you have greater inflation to deal with. And we need to start thinking of different investment strategies, whether that's real estate, whether that's something else, or even if you want to stay in the stock market, start getting acquainted with it. Start educating yourself on how the stock market works, how to take advantage of different aspects of the stock market to increase your returns. I think we're just too complacent as physicians oftentimes because we think we've got a good income, we'll be okay. Well, first of all, you're starting late and reimbursements are going down. People are getting more burned out. Your longevity in the profession is declining. It's not feasible to think that we can just keep working or just park our money in these retirement accounts and hope for the best. We've got to think for ourselves, and I am completely in support of all physicians who are doing various things, whether they are content creators, whether they are in real estate or other types of investments, whether they have their own businesses. I think it's fabulous because that's what we need to be doing. We need to leverage our diversity and our strengths to build a stronger physician community, because I think only when we are strong can we lead healthcare in the right direction. And we need good healthcare. All of us do. And we need to continue to build and find solutions. We've been functioning under these lies that we can borrow money, that we can spend a lot, we can just save for retirement. And this is just simply not true. And I want you to learn this sooner rather than later. We not only have to think for ourselves who are currently working in the profession, but we've got to think about the next generation of physicians. How can we empower them? How can we make sure that their career is fulfilling and healthy mentally, physically, and financially? So I hope you enjoyed this content. Please like and subscribe and check out our website at thedoctorinvestor.com. We're also currently building an online community, and I hope you'll check it out. See you next time.